guys, welcome to Man Cave Collectibles. Coming at you today with another figure review. So this is a figure review that you guys got to see me acquire on a toy hunt yesterday. It was a very successful toy hunt for me, with this being definitely my favorite find of the day and something that I've been looking for a long time. So we got the NECA Casey Jones versus Foot Soldier Slash version from the cartoon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. So we'll do a review on this guy, or on these guys. We'll take a look at both of them. The Foot Soldier is pretty much just a remold or a re-release of Foot Soldiers we've already received, with the exception he has been slashed in half. So we'll take a look at that a little closer once we get him out of the package. As far as the packaging, we've got this same packaging that we've kind of came accustomed to with this cartoon 2-pack line. You got some nice kind of promotional art, cartoon art there in the bottom with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo. Who we got in the package, Nickelodeon throws their branding on it. Right here, we got just some promotional art of the Foot Soldier. Some additional product images here. There with, we got April the 2-pack that should be releasing here soon. We've got the Leatherhead and Slash, which I have done a review on, so check that out. The Bebop and Rocksteady, which I have done a review on. In fact, that was the very first video on my channel ever. So that video has a lot of purpose for me there. And then another product image there of Casey Jones with one of his bats. So let's go ahead and break these two guys out of the package and take a look at what we're really here to see. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and take a look first at our Foot Soldier, and you can see we got Casey kind of waiting his turn in the back. So they nailed the likeness of the Foot Soldiers, which they have been doing, really the whole time with these, and we'll do a comparison of some of the Foot Soldiers they've already put out. But again, this is just a re-release of something we've already received, with the exception that this one has the battle damage. So really cool take on the foot. It is connected by one single, I guess we could call it's like a cord or a some type of inner workings of the Foot Soldier is what's holding it together. Just the one single red kind of either tube or wire that's holding him there. So really neat. Let's look at his accessories first. So one of the first things he comes with is their communicator, which we have seen used so many times in the cartoon. It was a staple in just about every cartoon, every episode. It does have a small picture of Bebop on it, you can see there. So that's a lot of attention to detail there. So pretty neat. We've gotten that before. We also received two really nice painted and sculpted guns. So this one we have already received, that I'm sure of. So this is just a re-release. Got some nice paint on it. We've got kind of some dark grays there on the handle, the stock, magazine. A little bit of gray accent, along the optic there and the barrel. So it looks really nice. Then we receive kind of this more otherworldly looking gun. I'm sure we've probably seen this in the cartoon. I don't remember exactly the time when we did, but I'm sure we have seen it. Real nice, painted, kind of a powder blue color, I guess. I'm not sure how well that's showing up on the camera, but kind of a powder blue paint. Does kind of almost have some either weathering look to it, or mine just has some kind of dirt type look on it. I'm not sure. But it looks really nice. This will probably be the one that I'll pose this guy with, being that I've already got a Foot Soldier posed with this gun. So nice addition. I like that. And then lastly, we've got a slew of hand options here, which we will run through real fast. We got just some kind of flat hands. Look good, real nicely sculpted. We got some, these are kind of, I guess you'd call them relaxed hands here. And I like that we're getting all these options, because if we are going to buy multiple foot soldiers, or be kind of forced to buy multiple foot soldiers through the 2-pack options, it's going to be nice to be able to do them where they're all looking different, different hands, different weapons, different damage or whatever. And this is your, your gun holding hands here. So really neat. Those are all super nice additions to, a new foot soldier to add to the collection. So looking at the foot soldier himself, we'll go ahead and bring him in so you guys can kind of see. I mean, look at that detail there in the battle damage. That is really nice. Really nice work there by NECA. I mean, he looks like, Leonardo has just slashed right down through with his katana. Really cool. They did a good job on this guy. We can look at that face sculpt. They got the red foot soldier, logo perfect there. The paint work on it's real nice. It stays within the lines. Pretty crisp paint job. Paint looks good on this guy overall. Got a little bit of, something going on here, kind of on that forearm armor. But overall, it looks good. Now, he's not, he doesn't feel flimsy or like he's going to fall over. Now, if you started bending this around, that may be a bendy wire in there. If somebody knows, let me know. So you may could do some bendy wire type action with him. I'm not going to, because I'm afraid that over time would not be very durable. Now, I guess if you just wanted a fully cut in half foot soldier, you could bend it or even cut it off yourself if that's what you were going for. But I'm going to leave mine in this fashion right here. So we'll set him up there, and we'll bring in one of his buddies that has not taken the damage that he has. So you can actually see, due to the fact that he has the battle damage, he is a little bit taller. So he's got, maybe a 1/4 of an inch height difference to the regular foot soldier, but you can see they are identical in every way. And in fact, here is the gun that we also received here. So, that does confirm for us that is just a re-release of that gun. But yeah, it's pretty neat there. You can see the size difference. So it is a perfect re-release outside of the battle damage, which I am 100% happy with and thankful that NECA has done for us. So we'll move this guy out. As far as articulation, but since this is something that we've already done before, we'll just kind of run through it really fast. The head articulation, we can look up to about there. We can look down to about there, which is really about straight ahead. They don't really have any down, which kind of sucks because they are taller characters. It would be nice if they had kind of more of the ability to look down, but they don't. We can twist that head all the way around. So if you want to get some nice sideways posing, you can. As far as in the arms here, they've got it up to about there so easily. You know how NECA's joints can be out of the package, they're very tight. So this guy is no different. So you may could get a little more, a little more out of that, but I'm not going to do it. Get the full 360. They do have the double jointed elbows there. And then as we move on down, you've got the 360 in the wrist and the side, the back and forth wrist articulation, which is super tight as well. But you do have that wrist articulation that we're used to. As far as down here, the skirt, skirt's probably not the best word for it, but it hinders a little bit of the, kind of the splits, but it does have a slit on each side. So it will allow for a little more range of motion as if it didn't have that. You got your double jointed knees, which are really well in this one. You've got the calf swivel and then the toe and ankle rockers there. You don't get a ton of ankle rocker, but you do get some. So just your basic, you know, nothing special as far as the articulation on this guy. Kind of what we've been accustomed to with NECA. So yeah, there is our foot soldier, our damaged foot soldier. So a really nice addition to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon line. Let's go ahead and take a look at the guy that we're really all waiting to look at. All right, guys, so here he is, Casey Jones, the one who has eluded me for a long time at this point and cost me a lot of gas and mileage on my vehicles trying to find. But here he is in all his glory, and he is a perfect recreation of what we saw in the cartoons from the late 80s and early 90s. All the way down, you know, the colors on the outfit, the hair, it really is just a perfect recreation, and I couldn't be more happy with what NECA has done. So one neat thing to note about this Casey Jones, he is a wild man. He's a loose cannon in the cartoons. You know, I guess in the 1990 movie, we got a little bit of that, but not quite as bad as what we saw in the cartoon. He also didn't quite have the same relationship with the Turtles as he did in the 1990s movie. And he really wasn't as big of a focal point as we would all assume or imagine. He only appeared in 5 episodes over all the, however many 9 or 10 seasons that the Ninja Turtles ran. He only appeared in 5 of the cartoon episodes. So he was not a very big focal point of that cartoon. He actually really received more popularity kind of once that 1990 movie, once the movie rolled around. That's really where Casey, I guess, kind of came into his own. So just a little something, you know, about him. He kind of had a Clint Eastwood sound to him. I think they said the guy who played or who voiced him in the cartoon kind of wanted to give him a Clint Eastwood sound. So it's kind of funny when he talks in the cartoon and you hear it for the first time in a long time, or, you know, you're kind of like, that's kind of a weird voice. Not the voice you would picture coming out of Casey Jones when, you know, a lot of us are really more even used to the movie version since he was such a small part of that cartoon version. Just a little bit to note about this version of Casey Jones. Let's go ahead and jump right on into his accessories. So we received two ninja stars or throwing stars. One kind of has an orange look to it, one is silver. Not much detail, just cut out in the shape of a star with a circle in the middle. We do receive his iconic, you know, I guess weapons bag, or you know, could be his baseball bag, whatever it actually is called. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, he uses it for his weapons. Just a you know, kind of a hollow bag there that will strap on his body. We'll see how that looks a little bit later. As far as his weapons, so some of the main weapons that he used in his first appearance is the sledgehammer here, which he had to use on multiple occasions. In that episode, Krang had created some little bugs that could jump into refrigerators or typewriters, and actually they would become animated and attack people, the turtles, whoever. So Casey Jones used these 2 weapons quite often in that episode to bash and beat down kind of rogue appliances, as well as Krang's kind of main invention, which was called the Knucklehead. It was a kind of a spider-looking contraption vehicle that he ended up using the sledgehammer to bash a hole in the side of in order to defeat it and allow kind of Krang's own bugs to climb in and destroy his own creation. But so pretty neat. We never saw this in the movie version of Casey Jones. This was just a cartoon weapon for him, as well as this version of the bat. Now, some of the things that we did see kind of, you know, make its way over to the big screen were the hockey sticks and, you know, what we can call kind of like the Jose Canseco bat, you know, from the movie. Now, it's not identical because it doesn't have all the tape on it that one had, but it is cool that in the movie, they were able to bring in some of what, you know, kind of was the originality of Casey Jones. So you get a nice bat there. Then you get 2 versions of a hockey stick, one being the goalie stick and then the other version, which is kind of what everybody else on the ice uses, just your regular hockey stick. So those are really nice. Those again did make it over to the you know, live action movie. Now as far as hands, we do receive 2 additional sets of hands. So we've got just some kind of grabbing hands. This is what he would be able to hold his weapons with. So they look identical. Each hand looks identical with the gloves on, with no fingers on the end, and just each done in different poses. You've got a really cool little pointing hand here. Get it to focus in. So if you want him pointing at somebody, and then he's got a thumbs up hand here. Looks really good. And then what comes on him out of the package are what you see here, which are his 2 fist hands. So covering articulation, we'll look here so you can see the sculpt real close as well. About that much down, which is good. That's better than the foot soldier gave us, so I like that. As far as his up, none. We're just basically going straight up. What's causing that is this hair on the back of the neck here is kind of creating a you know, something to impede being able to do that. You get very easy 360, so you can turn and maneuver that head any way you wish. Get the arm up to about right there, which is typical for what we see with NECA. He does have a bicep swivel there as well, which the foot soldier has a bicep swivel as well, and I may have missed that when I was going over it. He's got the double jointed elbows there. A little bit messy around the elbow area there as far as the paint work. I'm not sure what happened there, but a little bit messy. You can see here too, got kind of some paint rub on the upper portion of the bicep where I guess from spinning that bicep around, it's rubbed a little bit of this paint off onto the bicep. So just something to be aware of. You do get a full 360 in the wrist there, and a little bit of forward and back, but not a whole lot. We get 2 different areas of articulation here in the waist area. You get the spin, the swivel there in the actual waist, and then just below the, I guess his pectoral muscles there, you get another area of slight articulation, a little bit of rocker. You can get a little bit of twist there as well. So it gives you plenty range of motion in that chest area, I think, the 2 combined. So pretty cool. One thing to note here too, this is a little attention to detail, is these his pull strings on his sweatpants are actually kind of separately molded. So that's nice. That's a nice little attention to detail. They could have just as easily molded those into the pants. As far as legs, you get pretty good out, pretty good splits. That will swivel and move a little there on the thigh. Double jointed knees, lots of movement there. And he actually gets pretty good movement in the ankle. You can see there, better than we've seen with some of the figures here lately. Look at that rocker. That's excellent. That's something that we need with all of our figures. So we can get some of those. Well, they typically for me, just figures that have ankle articulation or better ankle articulation just tend to pose and stand better on the shelf in general. So there we go. A little bit of articulation there on Casey. Let's go ahead and we'll throw on his weapons pouch and see what that looks like. All right, guys, so little TV time out here. We had some issue with getting the weapons holder on his back. So I did take the head off, but it still had just barely enough pull to actually rip this portion of the harness out of the actual bag. And when it did, you can see there that it actually chipped the paint right there in the corner of the harness there. It chipped the brown paint off. not too bad because it looks like what's under it is kind of a different shade of brown, but just very annoying. I had to use a little super glue, put it back together. Shouldn't be any issue, but just for your own personal knowledge, when you go to do that, be very careful. Make sure you take the head off, which I did, but make sure you take the head off and just be very careful with it. I didn't apply very much pressure at all, and it ended up breaking it, which again, it's easy to fix with some super glue, but just something for you to know. So let's go ahead and we'll slip some of his weapons in. Now, one thing you will want to know, you do want it to face this way to be screen accurate. You don't want the opening to your bag to be on this side. That would be not screen accurate to the cartoon. But we'll go ahead and slide in his weapons. All right, and then let's see, we'll swap out a hand here. See how easy that is. NECA normally makes it fairly easy to swap the hands out, which it looks like it is going to be. And then you just pop that back in. So there we go. Got a swapped out hand. And we've got our baseball bat here. Now sometimes this can be a little tricky getting these weapons into the hands, but not too bad there. All right, so we got Casey there with his weapons and his baseball bat. So I think that looks fantastic, guys. I really, really cannot wait to get these guys posed with the rest of my Ninja Turtle cartoon action figures. We'll actually I was thinking about maybe just doing a video and just kind of going through everything NECA's done so far in the cartoon line, or everything that I have so far. So I have everything that they have released so far, with the exception, I don't have the SDCC 8-pack, which I did have, but I actually sold that because I didn't like the darker colored turtles, even though that is a little more screen accurate to the cartoon. I tended to like the lighter green color that NECA did kind of in the second wave of those. So maybe we can do a video and kind of just go through, do a recap of, hey, here's what we got so far, in the cartoon line. So maybe we'll do that here in the coming weeks. But here's these guys. Let's do a few little size comparisons for you, and we'll wrap up our video. All right, guys, so here's just some of the cartoon line that we have so far. You can definitely see that the damaged foot soldier is the tallest. In fact, he's even taller than the Metalhead is. The Metalhead's a pretty large figure. We got Slash down there on the left end. We got our Shredder figure and Donatello there. So you can see our turtles are definitely stacking up to be our smallest of the bunch, which we would expect. But I mean, tell me this is not just a glorious sight. This to me just looks amazing. Let's go ahead and pop him out. We'll stick in. There's our Bebop, so we can see there, perfectly scaled. I think NECA has really just killed it on the scale with these figures. Just looking fantastic. All right, and here we got Casey Jones with Casey Jones from the movie version, the NECA movie action figures, and then the Raphael in disguise from that same 2-pack as the Casey movie version. So, man, we got everything we want in Casey Jones right here. The one thing I guess us as collectors would love to have, and maybe we'll get it, with a recent announcement we've got of getting the April O'Neil from the movie line. Maybe we'll get the Casey Jones maskless face from the movie line. That would be fantastic. But this is the guy we're here to look at. There he is in comparison with himself from the movie line. And there's Raphael falling over. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review video. Hit that like button. It definitely helps get my videos shared. We just passed 600 subscribers, so I want to thank all you guys. Couldn't have done it without you, obviously, and I appreciate you guys' support. And I love you guys commenting in the comment section. I love to have that interaction with you guys and talk with other collectors. That's a lot of fun for me. Sometimes my kids and wife, they would much rather prefer me talk with you guys than them about my collection. So hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Until next time, guys, stay safe out there.